Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici, welcome my friends. My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel, and the channel is Fountain Pen Therapy. I'm really excited, boys and girls. We have another Asvine offering to show you. I played pickleball. I had 3 golf games. I'm exhausted, but I'm excited about this pen, and I said I can't wait. I gotta review it. I gotta prepare the review. It's now Sunday evening. I really want to publish this week. You'll probably get it, folks. If you're watching this, it should be Thursday morning around 10 o'clock. I'm excited. Beautiful pen, again, from Asvine. Different materials. We haven't seen this type of material from them before. Not expensive at all, and that's the key word. And it's got that huge, beautiful number 8 size nib. So I could not resist. Ladies and gentlemen, Fountain Pen Therapy presents the Asvine C80. So we're back. I'm going to show you the pens, folks. Interesting comment from my French friend of Une Fontaine des Plumes. He's talking about Asvine, and how Asvine appears to have, taken the route that it's a Chinese pen maker, but it's making pens for the, I guess what we would call the Western market, or the the Western market, as opposed to the Asian market. And that, they're completely 2 different markets. And Asvine is concentrating on the Western market. If that's what they're doing, and that's what I think they are, and my Asvine collection video reflects that. That was part of my title. I think he's absolutely correct. And if that's the case, all the power to them. Bring it on, man. Bring it on. So let's look at this newest offering. Folks, this pen is selling for $26 Canadian, which is what, maybe $20 American. It is a complete and utter steal. Okay? If you're going to get an Asvine fountain pen, this is the one to get for $26. Okay? And if you're going to get a pen at all, a fountain pen this week, this is the pen you got to get. I mean, I can't believe that they put out a pen with a number 8 size nib with this kind of resin. Okay? Yes, it's a cartridge converter. Yes, it doesn't have a clip. Yes, it doesn't have, piston. It doesn't have gold nibs. But it's $20 US, folks. Here it is. Wow. Now, first of all, I'd like to thank Asvine. They sent me these 2 pens some time ago, okay? And asked me to review them. And here they are. They asked 2 pens, which ones do you want? Based on a previous review I had seen from Chris Rapp. He was the first one, I think, to publish a review on these pens. He had them some time ago. And I think he had these very same, or he mentioned that there was a green glitter and this light blue glitter. And you know what? I said, let me give the green and that blue look really, really nice. Let's go with that. And those are the 2 pens that I have for you today. Now, one thing to note is my camera, for some reason, I don't know how it's going to come out when it's published, but this light blue glitter is a little more greenish than it actually is. You have to trust me on this. It's a lot more blue. And, maybe I have to adjust my, my white balance on my camera. But take a look at this resin. Take a look at this glitter. Just absolutely outstanding. Okay, and this is a good size pen, as we will see in the comparison. Now, I don't know if all the pens are like this. This light blue glitter has, that kind of glitter format on 3/4 of its side. And then when you turn it around, it has a kind of a lighter shade. Now, one of the difficulties I'm having, folks, you're going to have to help me, is that once you unscrew this barrel, and if you want to try to get it back to where it was, I'm having difficulties. I don't really mind it. It doesn't bother me, but for this video, I would have hoped to be able to get it, to line up. It's not lining up. That's the only thing I don't like about this pen. Just because it's driving me crazy, but nothing else, nothing, physical or in terms of quality. I mean, it's absolutely smooth. It's a really, really nice resin. Take a look at the finial. Well done there. Look, very, very nice. It's smooth everywhere. Obviously, it's just a simple cigar shape. You might say it doesn't have a clip. Yes, it doesn't have a clip. If it makes a difference for you, well, this is not the pen for you. I couldn't care less, frankly, about the clip. Not when it costs me $20 US or $26 Canadian. Now, I think it is Canadian. No, I'm misleading you because I'm looking at the site as I speak. It's $26 US. Sorry about that. $26 US. So you know what? It's still worth $26 US, folks. Beautiful, beautiful pen. There you have it. Okay, so that's the outside. We'll do some comparisons later on. Here's the green. The green has got it's green glitter. Very nice. It doesn't have that white strip coming down. Apparently, all of these resins are turned individually and unique, so you won't get one pen that looks like the other. They're all going to be unique. Very nice. I love that glitter in that resin. Very, 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 very nice. Now, what does it reveal? Well, let me see if I could see how this is. We'll take that as a kind of a guide. That's one. That's approximately 1.5 there. 2. So it's 2. I would say it's 2 turns to reveal this beautiful number 8 size nib. Now, this one I took in 1.1. The other one I took in medium. It's got a nice flare, which I really, really like. I'm beginning to realize that I like flares on the nib sections much more than something that's straight down. I just, after, more than a decade collecting pens, I finally realized what pen is more comfortable than for me. Sometimes it's just the obvious escapes us. This thread here is fairly smooth, not at all intrusive. Very nice. Now, I believe that this is the first time we see a silver number 8 size nib from Asvine. From the C2000, they were always in gold. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks. A lot of people have asked, is that feed ebonite? I don't believe it's ebonite. I think it's plastic. There you have it. It is a cartridge converter and turns very nicely, as you can see. Very nice and tight, reinforced Asvine converter, as usual. Sits there very nice. Their converters, I find, really function very, very nicely. It's got the Asvine branding on it. Notice my French friend, he likes to play around with the tolerance here just to see how much it tolerates. There is no O-ring there. It's all resin. I would assume that you can probably eyedropper this, but I wouldn't take a chance in case the ink kind of penetrates this resin. I'm always a little bit weary unless a pen maker actually comes out and tells me that I can. I prefer to just keep it in the converter. And frankly, I change ink so often that I wouldn't want to fill this up with a bunch of ink and then throw it away halfway through. So there you have it. The nib should come out fairly easily. Yeah, slips right out. Again, another small detail that Fontaine de Plume looks at. He looks at how many turns it takes to unscrew the nib. So this is 1, 2, 2.5, 3. So about 3.5 to 4. He says it should be 4 to 5. And the reason he explains, and I was wondering why, and in his last review of I believe it's the C2000 Ebonite, what he mentions is the more turns it takes, the tighter it sits, the section sits. When you push on the converter to seal it, you're not forcing the whole mechanism. I found that very interesting. It's something that rarely you hear commented on, and I figured I'd give you the benefit of the doubt of my friend from Fontaine de Plume. Very observant. That gentleman, he reviews the pen, he checks it all out, makes sure that everything is done properly. Excellent reviews. I recommend him. And we kind of exchange views on our pens and our reviews constantly, and he always has very interesting comments. And you can find them in the comment section of all my videos practically. There you have it. So I think we've covered everything except, let's take this green one. I'm playing around with the blue one a little bit more than the green. Let's look at what that cap. I mean, I don't believe I should see anything other than a step. Yeah, you see that little step that seals the nib nicely. But this is one piece. So there's no loose air passages anywhere or holes anywhere. So I would assume that this pen is going to seal nicely and not have any dry nib issues. There you have it. So I think we have covered these beautiful glitter pens from Asvine. There you have it. We'll be right back. We'll do some comparisons, measurements, and then we'll do the writing sample. Okay, we're back with a pen and size comparison. Here we are. We got this Majon, our Moon Man. It's an older pen, M8. We got some very interesting silver sparkles there. I thought that is comparable. Again, cigar shape, but it does have a clip. This is the Subject C80, the green glitter. This is a Vazir Meteor Shower. Very nice pen as well. It's got the clip and a rolling clip there, but very comparable in terms of model, if you will. This is the I think it's Cracked Ice, if I'm not mistaken, from Edison Pens. This is a Cypress G10, I think they call it, Space Shuttle or something like that. And this, of course, is the Subject C80 in that light blue glitter. So there you have the pens capped. Okay, here are the pens uncapped and unposted. You can see the Moon Man is the smallest of the gang, along with Edison. But in the Subject pen with that number 8 size nib kind of overshadows all the others. But very interesting comparison. And you see the key here is that this pen is $26, American. And all and I forget what I paid for this Moon Man. Probably something similar. But, the rest, the Vazir is worth a little more than $20, $30, no doubt. I think it's something like $100, if I'm not mistaken. This, okay, the cypress is a little bit different. The material is very special, and that's an in-house nib, and I believe I have a gold nib on that particular pen. But having said that, folks, for a comfortable pen at $26, again, I can't stress how I think I'm impressed. In terms of comfort, take a look at it. It is nice and big. You don't need to post this pen at all. Most comfortable. It's kind of light. It's not the heaviest, but you can feel that you have something substantial in your hands. Does it post? Yes, it does. It is a little bit heavy, a little back weighted, just a touch. But we're talking about resin. This is not metal. So any of you who insist on posting, this pen does post. So it posts very comfortably and very deeply. Take a look how deep it actually goes. So very, very nice. So these are the pens not posted and uncapped. Here are the pens posted. Now this one doesn't post. This Edison barely, I would say is not a poster either. The Moonman posts. So these two we can forget about. Otherwise, you can see that the subject pen is, very, very big when it gets posted, but it does post. So there you have it, the pen and size comparison. We'll show up some measurements, and then we'll do writing samples. Okay, so we're back for the writing sample. And in terms of the inks, here are the inks that I've chosen. I've chosen Tuong inks just because I think these inks are just great, and they work beautifully with these Asvine pens. The first one is this bluish gray that I've fallen in love with. Here it is right there, bluish gray. Here it is, bluish gray. I think it's going to work nicely with that. So bluish gray for the blue glitter pen. Then I have what they refer to as teal, although it does come down a little bit greener than teal that we would normally look for. So this is the teal Hongdian, and as you can see, it's a nice green, I think. So those are the inks we will be using. That's my ink swatches. I wanted to show off this new cover I got, very cheap, $27, $28 Canadian on AliExpress. Take a look at my recap for June 15th, I believe, where I mentioned this, and I have a description of this cover. What I find really nice is that you can put in, just notebooks that go this way, or notepads that go this way. You've got two slots. You've got a very big loop here for your pens. It's elastic, so almost any pen fits, which is very nice. So take a look at that. It's in my recap. For the folks who don't know what my recap is, well, you're missing something. Every week I put out a recap where I take a look at the market in terms of pens, inks, and paper. I show you my pen haul for the week. Do some ink swatching. So we review 3 or 4 inks a week. We review a different notebook or different paper. Then we take a look at YouTube reviews. We take a look at my currently inked and what's going to come up for the following week. We've got some Q&A. We've got everything there. It's an hour and a half packed show with all kinds of information. Please take a look at those recaps. They're very informative, very entertaining, meant to be consumed slowly, with a beverage, or take a look at my timestamps and you can pick and choose. Okay, let's get back to my Asvine. Here's the notebook. It's a Tomo River notepad, Tomo River original, if you will. So here we go. Let's start with medium. This is the medium nib on this green glitter. So, wow. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I don't know what to tell you. But anybody who cannot appreciate the smoothness of this nib, wow, wow, wow. So the ink is Hongdian teal. The nib is the Asvine number 8 steel, and it's a medium nib. Extremely wet. Wet and juicy. And this is a medium nib, so I hope you can see that. I really hope you can see that. Now, fast writing, no problem. Very, very consistent. There's no lag here, none whatsoever. Does it have a spring? You know what? It's a number 8 size nib. Just by the sheer size, I guess you can probably get some line variation out of it, but very, very nice. I've got to tell you, whatever direction you want, this nib is wet and juicy and smooth. Very, very smooth. Almost no feedback. Reverse writing. Yeah, you can get, actually pretty smooth. You can get an extra fine, and it's keeping up. So there you have it. Now, let's do the blue, and then on the following page we'll do the likes and dislikes. Okay, so this one is the Asvine, wow, C80 light blue glitter. The camera is not picking up. I gotta tell you, it's not picking up how juicy this nib is. Let me just maybe here you can see it a little bit better. The nib is the Asvine number 8 steel 1.1 stub. The ink is the Hongdian bluish gray, I think, or is it gray blue? Where is it? Yeah, bluish gray. Was I in frame? I hope I was in frame there. Okay. Yeah, in terms of wetness, it's a stub, and look at that. I mean, very, very wet. Does it have any? Yeah, I suppose you can get some softness to it just because it's a huge nib, but it's not a flex nib. Don't get me wrong. So it's very wet. Smooth. And constant, or consistent, if you will. No hard starts, no skipping of any sort, okay? Reverse writing. Yeah, keeps up. Probably a fine, I would say. Okay, there you have it. So why don't we go to the next page and we'll take a look at some likes and dislikes. Okay, okay, sorry about that. We're back. So likes and dislikes. Well, I like the material. That's the first thing. I think they've done a good job with that resin. Very good job. I like the nib. The nib is just absolutely 10 on 10. Okay, it's outstanding for a steel number 8 size nib. Nothing wrong with it at all, at all, at all. It's just a performer. Okay, I like the comfort of this pen. It's got, interesting weight for a resin pen. It's got a flare, so it's very comfortable. It's nice and big and juicy. Very, very comfortable. I think good for long writing sessions. Very, very nice. Okay. The price. So value at, and I misled you with the $20 right off the bat. I hope people don't stop watching and they get misled, but it's $26.99. So, and it's US. Okay. It's a go-to pen. What I mean by a go-to pen is this something that you would take to work? I think so. Is it something that you would write with often? I think so. It's not a toy. It's a real it's a real workhorse, I would say. So go-to pen, I would give it 10 on 10. Dislikes, no clip. Some people might believe that that's a no-go right off the bat. I like I said, I don't care if it has or if it doesn't have a clip, but I can understand that forms part of the price consideration. It's one less piece that needs to be manufactured and assembled. I realize that there is some value in a clip, obviously. I'm a little bit frustrated with this thing not lining up as quickly, but I think it's just a question of me finding the magic formula, and then you're okay. And I'm sure one of the viewers will be able to steer me right there. But the lining up, and it's really probably just with this light blue glitter. So I'll call it line up of the resin, okay? And that's really minor, folks. I wouldn't have, just buy a different color. I wouldn't want this to discourage you from getting this pen, because it is. And, some of you may ask, between, this pen, the Asvine stable wood pen, and do I have the other one not too far? I should. Sorry about that. I'm back. Asvine 2000. This is the stable wood. Let's put it here so it doesn't roll. This is the subject pen, and let's give it another. And this one's the Asvine Ebonite. This Asvine Ebonite is just gorgeous, but this thing is going for like $100, $120. Okay, you get, in my view, the same writing experience. Well, okay, let's be honest. Ebonite is ebonite. Okay, it's got that feel, especially how smoothly it's been crafted on this pen. Between this and this is a no-brainer. I would go with the ebonite, but there's a price difference. But if you want something close and you want to experience that Asvine number 8 size nib, this is the pen to go with. Really, really nice. The Asvine 2000 is a collection piece. It's a it's a nice addition. It's ebonite. It's a beautiful pen. Don't get me wrong. It's huge in terms of a pen. It's got trimmings so the value is there. But if you want to experience the number 8 size nib and don't want to spend 100, whatever it is, 120, I think it's going for, this $26 pen or $27 US pen, great choice. Great choice. So there you have it. Let me go to the green. So again, Asvine, you've done it again. It's I hate to repeat myself with Asvine all the time, but it's a 10 on 10 in my view. It is an absolute joy to write with this pen and this nib. And I don't have a fine. I may very well, for $27, maybe get all the colors because it is a joy. Just an absolute joy. So there you have it. Excited. Sunday night. After a long and exhausting weekend in terms of activities. I also had a party Saturday night. So very, very nice weekend. But we topped it off with the C80. And you're watching this on a Thursday. I hope you enjoyed it. So there you have it. Another Asvine gem, folks. Take care of yourself, folks. Enjoy your pens. Enjoy your Asvine pens. And more importantly, enjoy your summer. It's finally here in Montreal. Please subscribe. Press those buttons. It doesn't cost you a cent. It encourages the algorithm, and it keeps me going. So there you have it. Ciao.